Okay, and so we will start out tonight with the West Alameda Arts and Entertainment District. And yes, you do have the ability, you should have the ability to share the screen, but why don't you give it a try on your end and let me know.
Let's try, hang on. Chicka-ching. Hang on 1 second. I just want to press present on this first, otherwise it won't. Let's see if it works.
Yep, there you go.
Hang on a second. If I press present, does it present? Can you guys see that presenting itself?
Yes, it is now. Yes, you have it up and running.
Yay! So I spent a little while thinking how to say something useful in 3 minutes, and it was challenging. But just for those of you who don't know who we are, because I'm aware that many of you might not, West End Arts District has actually been around for about 5 years, and the main event that we run and are known for is Blues, Brews and Barbecue. But we are massively growing in all kinds of directions, and I came on board. I am a dance artist, and I came on board in 2018 and started Animate Dance Festival, which is an outdoor free dance festival, which obviously didn't happen this year, but hopefully will come back to us. And I applied to Rotary, or we applied, but for a project that I'm running, which is called Building 8 Dance Film. And it is, we are making 3 dance films in a building in Alameda Point that's currently being converted. So it's called the General Storehouse, and it's one of the huge, big Alameda, warehouse buildings. And it is currently totally empty and awaiting reconversion. And it's stunningly beautiful inside. So what I did was just put together a couple of pictures to show you guys how we started. Let me see if this works. So just to give you an idea of where we're filming and what we're doing, this is a couple of photographs from a shoot that I did with local photographer Maurice Ramirez. So you can see inside the building and where we're going to be making these films. Let's give you a quick flip through. That's all me because it was just a shoot with me, but an idea of what it looks like inside and the exciting things we can do. And then this is a site visit that I did recently with a director who's coming up from LA to make the films. And I just wanted to give you, another couple of like weird and exciting angles of things that we look at and we go, oh, wow, we could do this and we could do that. And it's gonna be really cool. So that's kind of where we start from. And we will start filming in January. Then there are 2 more films going to be made in February and March. And then they will be distributed online, probably at the beginning of the year, hopefully live at the end of the year. And we will look forward to sharing them all with you. So there you go. There's my little brief introduction.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And good luck with your project, Tara.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Stop share. There you go.
All right. Moving on. Our next one will be Tomorrow Youth Repertory. And I'm looking to see, raise that. There he is. I see you, Tyler. All right. And Kara, we got both of you. Excellent. Hi. So feel free to unmute. Do you need to share screen?
I'm going to abandon my screen share because when I timed myself earlier, I went so far over that I'm just going to try to not do that to you.
I'll just cut you off.
I've abandoned my plan. I've already closed the file, so I apologize. You have to theater of the mind, everyone. My name is Tyler. Kara is here as well. We are Tomorrow Youth Repertory, or 2 of the several that comprise it. I want to first of all just say how grateful we are to Rotary Club for your generosity. This is such a weird and trying time, and the fact that you are still putting faith and support into arts and education really means so very much. We are a children's theater group, and when COVID-19 really hit solidly last spring and the world seemed to change overnight, we kind of found ourselves suddenly conducting after-school theater program in a world where theaters are closed. Sorry?
Be sure you're muted.
I'm not muted.
No, not you, not you. Everybody else, be sure you're on mute, please.
As I was saying, we discovered that we were now an after-school theater program with theaters closed and school also not in person session. So like many groups, we kind of struggle with what our purpose is right now. And the answer actually came from our students, because we were really struck by how deeply the sense of loss was really affecting them. And obviously we've all felt that. But for students, it felt a little different, because beyond the lack of socialization, the disappointments that I think we're all very aware of, one thing that has really hit students is that they've lost the rites of passage that they've been looking forward to. Because I think we often forget how much of childhood is spent going towards markers, be it a grade number or a prom. Kids are seeing these markers that they'd anticipated for years just disappear. So the mission of our group really changed. And while we still believe in artistic expression, and that's our tool, what our mission has really become is to try to instill hope and optimism into young people. We want to encourage students to feel that they aren't just waiting for life to come back, but to realize life actually is all around them. And while it might need to adapt, it doesn't have to stop, and new markers can be created to make this time special. Here's where the slides would have gone. In the hopes of doing this, what we've continued to work plays with children, but what we've done is we've tried to create material that's expressly written for Zoom that wouldn't necessarily work in person. So emphasizing shows that are supposed to be talking heads. Kids get an opportunity to brag about doing a show they would not have been able to do had this not occurred. We've also tried to offer spaces where kids can meet and do activities together that are fun and creative, from D&D campaigns to theater game meetups. And every week, Kara is actually hosting a discussion group for LGBTQ students who really need a space to be themselves. We want kids to kind of recognize they can do things that are special right now and that aren't simply a holding period for waiting for the good times. Of course, a huge issue for families right now is their finances. Everyone's under a strain, and we believe our program should cost simply what a family needs them to cost and no more. And the Rotary Club support is such a huge help in allowing us to be able to offer that, and we're just incredibly grateful to you all for it. And if you allow me to soapbox for just a couple of more seconds, I'd be remiss if I didn't just say that there are a lot of challenges out there for students right now. And the pandemic has really highlighted how damaging unequal access to technology has been, as well as how income disparities are robbing young children of their access, not only to education, but to the expressive and emotional support they really need and deserve. And we've obviously got a lot of work in front of us as a society that won't end with the pandemic. But I truly believe that your support really helps us move the needle in the right direction. I'm so grateful to all of you for that. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. And additional big thank you to Jeff for putting this event together.
Well, it was Rotary and everybody else, but you know, I just get to wear the flashy clothes and the fancy hat. Thanks very much, Tyler. You know, and I think you've expressed really clearly all of the underlying issues that art fulfills for our students and how much has been lacking this year. And I think that was one of the things that we definitely took into account when we were looking at the amounts of the awards and who was going to get awards. So thank you very much for your part in the awards. And we'll have others tonight that also are representing the arts. Next one is, speaking of, this is a great segue. The next one up would be Rhythmix Cultural Works. And so where Bean, I see you, and Jennifer, I see you. The show is yours.
Thank you, Jeff. And you look amazing tonight. I love your outfit. So beautiful. Okay, so my name is Jennifer. I'm the assistant director at Rhythmix Cultural Works. And first, we'd like to thank everyone in Rotary for supporting Rhythmix Performance Art and Learning Program for 2021. So normally Performance Art and Learning, which we also call PAL for short, is a live arts education assembly program featuring world music and dance. Rhythmix has been able to bring close to 3,000 students to its theater each year to enjoy this program. However, when schools shut down earlier this year, we really quickly decided that we needed to continue making this program available. And in order to do so, we would need to convert it to a virtual format. So what we did was we retrofitted our theater to make a COVID-safe space where we could record the ensembles. And now we're hosting them on our website and sharing them with the schools. We also decided that we would take this opportunity to expand our reach and offer the program not just to those Alameda and Oakland schools that could physically make it to our theater, but we're actually offering it to all Alameda County schools this year. So we've had to do a lot of extra outreach to try to make that happen. So far, we have 300 teachers that are registered for the program. And if you estimate about 20 students per class, that equates to about 5,000 to 6,000 students who are potentially receiving this program now. We've gotten a lot of great feedback so far. We've produced 3 performances so far this fall, and we're looking forward to producing 5 more in the spring. We've gotten some great feedback from the teachers saying that they're super grateful that they have these resources to share with their kids and that the kids can stay connected to the arts, even though all of the learning is virtual right now. So what I'd like to do right now is to share my screen and show everybody how we're sharing this program with the schools. So let me see if I can get that set up.
Looks good.
Okay.
Yes, congratulations.
Thank you. All right. So right now we're hosting all of the videos on our website, as I said, and sharing a link to the teachers so that they can just come back to the link and access the videos. We're featuring a different performance ensemble each month. So the teachers have about 30 days in which they can figure out how best to incorporate the performance into their class activities. And that's proven to be really useful, as some teachers will break up showing the video over a couple days, or they can decide where it fits into their schedule the best. So as you see, for January, we've got a cross pulse percussion ensemble that we're going to be featuring. February, we're looking forward to Shell and Friends. In March, we're featuring Tandy Beal and Company's Magic Carpet. April, Sewam Dance. May is Ethnotech. So the performances that we've already featured this year are Cunumaque with Afro-Peruvian dance and music, Cascada de Flores. They did a special Dia de los Muertos performance. And right now, the current show is with the Kadima Ensemble, featuring music of the Near East. So I'll show you how the teachers actually get in to see these videos. So when they go to the performance page, we actually have a study guide that the teachers can use to help integrate the performance with their curriculum. We also have study slides. So the study guides have been translated into kind of PowerPoint presentations that are a little bit more student friendly, so the teachers can share them directly with the students. They have the video right here that they can play from their screens. We have a link to a survey, so we can ask about student responses and if the teachers have had any challenges sharing through Zoom, which they do sometimes. And a place where they can upload any student work, like thank you letters to the artists or drawings or writing assignments. Another super exciting element of this program this year is a collaboration with the Alameda Education Foundation. So for each of our performance ensembles, the Alameda Education Foundation has found a visual artist who has made a short video showing and demonstrating their artwork. And then they've made a student art activity to accompany the artist video as well. So this year, the students are not only getting a world music and dance performance, but they're also getting visual arts resources and activities. And I think that's probably my time. Okay. So thank you again so much to Rotary for helping us take this program into the spring and supporting the upcoming ensembles and all of the great recording and editing work that we have ahead of us. Thank you.
Thanks so much. That's great. Also, I want to take just a quick minute because we have a couple of Rotary celebrities on the square. Will Thomas, if you could wave just quickly. Will Thomas is going to be the incoming president of the Rotary Club of Alameda starting on July 1. Hopefully by that time, he will not have to be dealing with Zoom meetings.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be in person.
Yeah,
and if I could just say something real quick, there's a face or a name that I saw that I haven't seen in at least 25 years, and that is, she just looked at the camera, it's Carol Roby. So Miss Roby, our old principal at Washington School. So hey, it's good to see you. Yeah, I'm
Will
back
Thomas,
over,
this is your life.
yeah, so now I have my kids now and they're over at Myelin, but I saw the name and immediately thought, thought about you. So it's good to see you, and I hope all is well.
Excellent, great. And then the other person that I want to introduce, in my screen, he's in the upper right-hand corner, is Jeff Miller, a longtime Rotarian from many different clubs. We're so glad that he has landed here in Alameda. And he is the president of the Alameda Rotary Endowment Foundation. And they are the ones that funded all of these community grants tonight. So Jeff, for the foundation, thank you so much. Okay, moving on. Katie with Operation Dignity, if you could unmute and tell us where the funds will go for your organization.
Absolutely, thank you so much. It's good to see everyone. Operation Dignity, we provide housing and services to homeless veterans. We have a site out on the former Naval Air Station. And in the spring, we noticed that our demand for food went way up when the shelter in place took effect. We have a little food pantry on site where the veterans can come and get food and cook it in their own kitchens in their apartments. But of course, with the shelter in place, many of them had lost jobs and income, and everyone was just, eating at home a whole lot more. And of course, these are folks who are very low income and don't have a lot of funds to buy food themselves. So we found that we were, spending a lot more money on purchasing foods. So we really appreciate the Rotary support. It will go to buy food for the veterans this winter. And we just want to thank you, especially for helping us out in this extremely challenging year. I think we're all looking for that sense of community to kind of help bring us through this winter that hopefully has light at the end of it. And this meeting is always a good reminder that that community is surrounding us, and certainly in Alameda. So thank you all so much.
Great, great. Katie, thanks so much. And thanks for the great work that you do with Operation Dignity. All those veterans that have served and protected us definitely deserve to have a good meal. So thank you for all the work that you do. Okay, moving on will be Girls Inc. of the Island City. And if somebody can wave, there you go. Hi.
Alexandra.
Hi, Alexandra. All right, show is yours.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Alexandra Parma, and I'm a board member for Girls Inc. of the Island City. And on behalf of Girls Inc., I just want to thank you so much for this grant, especially now in a year when we've really had to adjust and shift to best meet the needs of the girls in our community. So for those of you who aren't familiar, Girls Inc. is a local nonprofit, kind of part of a national network of Girls Inc. organizations across the country. And we serve girls elementary school through high school with evidence-based programming focused on the development of the whole girl with support, mentoring, and really guiding them to be, and this is our mission, to be strong, smart, and bold. So as an update of where we're at and what's been going on, we can't run all of our programs at full capacity at this time, but we are safely running an all-day small group pod of girls at our Meyer Center and girls and boys in our licensed childcare program, Alameda Island Kids at the Franklin School. We're providing online school assistance, which is a little bit different than our typical programming. And we're going to continue running this into January. It's the first time in our 56 years that we've had online programming, and we're running virtual programs for elementary school enrichment activities and our social emotional program. And we're also expanding our programs to the West Contra Costa Unified School District and have been asked to provide a full day program to support them as well, and also bring our social emotional program there too. So, just to echo, I think it was Tyler who mentioned, just like adults, children in our community are really struggling with the impact and effects of the pandemic, navigating isolation and remote everything, remote school, remote dance, remote music lessons. And, things look different now, but Girls Inc. and the work of Alameda Island Kids is really reaching a lot of the kids who need us most. So thank you so much for your support.
Great, thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, I want to recognize a few Rotarians. I've now seen some people pop up, and hopefully I will get everybody. And if I don't get you, please wave your hand because I'm having to go toggle between two screens. So Karen Platt is our current secretary, and she's in the upper left-hand corner. Hello, Karen. Hi, how are you? Kathy Wolf, I see you. You haven't changed a bit in 5 years.
Yep.
Kathy was on the Community Grants Committee. Welcome. Let's see. Joyce Mercado. Hello, Joyce. Nice to see you as well. And Joyce was the administrator for the Community Grants Committee this way and is a new member. Joyce, special thank you for all of the work that you did to keep us on track. She worked the spreadsheets and made sure that the numbers all came out correctly. So thanks very much for that. Moving on down, I see Bill Del Porto, who is the treasurer of the Alameda Rotary Endowment Foundation. Kathy Mooring. Hello, Kathy. How are you? Good to see you. And I see Sharon Gardner. And is Phil Gardner around somewhere?
He's having dinner.
Okay. That's all right. Well, we'll see him when he pops back in.
Joining you.
Great. Well, good. Glad you guys can make it as well. And if I see anybody else as they pop on, I'm still having to try and do the 2-screen thing. So let me get my other computer up and we will now go on to Friends of the Alameda Free Library.
You could move over, I could be on the screen too.
And Sharon, if you guys can mute, Phil,
yeah.
Can you mute?
I did. I just unmuted myself. So,
okay, yeah, hey, I said, Phil Gardner, can you mute your, there you go. Thank you. Hi, Karen.
Hi. So I want to thank the Rotary Foundation for their outstanding community support. And as others have mentioned, it's really of special value at this challenging time when it's really hard to get the normal sources of support from the community. So today, many find value in virtual programs that can help to relieve isolation, anxiety, and stress, and build a sense of community. So your generous gift will allow the Friends of the Alameda Free Library to offer 2 virtual programs in February to highlight the work of African-American artists. So on February 8th, in partnership with the Phoenix Art Museum, we will present a program called Hidden in Plain View, exploring the rebirth of African-American art during the Harlem Renaissance. And then on February 24th, in partnership with the San Francisco Museum of Fine Art, we'll present Revelations, Art from the African-American South. And we invite the Rotary Club to make introductory remarks for these sessions, and we'll mention the Rotary in all the publicity. We also encourage the club members to invite their friends to these events. We've had considerable experience now, as many have said, with virtual events, and the Friends of the Alameda Free Library quickly shifted its docent and author talks to a virtual environment beginning in March 2020, and we were one of the first to do so. During 2020, we sponsored 10 docent talks and 7 author talks with over 1,500 attendees. And the popularity of the Frida Kahlo talk required more Zoom seats and a second event and unanticipated expenses. So we really appreciate the support from the Rotary for the events in 2021, and that will allow us to continue to reach out to the community, the arts community. I do want to mention a couple of highlights from past Rotary grants to our organization so you can understand your impact. In 2018, we invited 3 outstanding Black leaders to share their journeys and the challenges in making a difference in Alameda. And the program brought up many poignant and difficult memories for the panelists and attendees of racial injustices throughout society and the stories about the courage to be a Black leader. And then in 2018, you helped us celebrate the Lunar Year of the Dog at the Bay Farm Library with a number of well-attended children's programs. But the highlight for me was the Dragon Parade by a special needs Boy Scout troop with upside down laundry baskets on their heads, leading children around Lydecker Park on a glorious Saturday afternoon. It was really wonderful. And then in 2020, just before we had to close down, you sponsored a program, Black Youth Exploring the Road to Success. The message from 3 educators who worked with Black youth was to believe in yourself, don't let anyone stop you, and be fearless. And all mentioned the importance of a caring, supportive adult. So you have made a difference in Alameda, and we're thrilled to have your support for the February event so that we and you can continue to make a difference. Thank you.
Great, thanks so much, Karen. Very timely topics too. Thanks for that support. Also, I'm gonna have to go back and apologize to Kathleen Schwartz because I knew they were going to be a recipient tonight and I forgot to also include her as a fellow Rotarian. So Catherine, if you will please forgive me, and there'll probably be another bottle of champagne for you.
No worries.
I have to pay my penance. Okay, so moving on from Friends of the Alameda Free Library to Friends of our Canine Friends. And let's see, who is going to be Carla? Right, there you are, your lower left-hand Carla. So Carla Thornton will be speaking for the Friends of the for FOSS.
Yes.
FOSS, just easier.
Yes, yes, it's a long name. Thank you so much, Jeff, for everything. We would like to thank the Rotary Club and its supporting organizations for this very generous grant. And a special thanks to Jeff for dropping by the goodies tonight. They were very wonderful, very good. Thank you. John Lip, the shelter's executive director, wanted me to tell everyone, since he's a Rotarian member here, how sorry he was to miss this event. We had a shelter event tonight that started at the exact same time on Zoom. So he was really sorry to miss this. I'm going to go ahead and try to share my screen and just show you some of the many adoptions that we've had this year of animals. And I'm not
on the technology.
I'm not seeing it. Uh-oh.
Yep, there you go. Well, we're partially there.
What do you see?
So we see Zoom.
How's
there.
that?
All right, yes.
Okay, awesome.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So these are just a few of the animals that FOSS has been able to adopt out to the community and surrounding areas since March, since the pandemic started. We are considered an essential service. So we have stayed open with most, if not all of our employees, because animals still come to the shelter and need the shelter and need to find new homes. So the reason we applied for this grant is that the shelter takes in almost 1,000 animals a year, and to keep up our percentage of animals that we can save, which is about 97%, we rely heavily on two programs that really need donations from the public and grants like the Rotary Grant. And those programs are, one is the Sasha Training Fund, which we use to train dogs that have both been adopted, and dogs that are still at the shelter that have behavior problems. This saves lots of lives, this training program. The other is the Starfish Medical Fund, which pays for critical medical care of our shelter animals. If an animal comes in with a broken leg or is very sick, some shelters just don't have the wherewithal to save those animals. But thanks to our community support and grants like the Rotaries, we can get those animals the veterinary care that they need and get them well and get them adopted too. So it's a really wonderful thing. These two programs make a huge difference, like I said, in our ability to save the lives of Alameda's homeless pets. And since March, I don't know if I mentioned this already, but we've adopted out more than 340 animals to loving new homes. We have supporters like the Rotary to thank for that. So we're very grateful. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Thanks, Carla, for all the great work that you do. And COVID or not, I think Friends of the Alameda Animal Shelter are an essential service on a day-to-day basis here in Alameda. So thank you for all the work that you guys do there.
Thank you.
Okay, and moving on is the Frank Betts Center for the Arts. So, Carla, if you can unshare your screen. Ah, perfect. Oh, the technology's going pretty well tonight. I am absolutely shocked.
I think so. I think so. Hello, Jeff, and thank you, Rotary Club.
There you are. Hey, Jeff.
There we are. Over here.
Yeah. Go ahead.
My name is Joe, and I am the Director of Development for the Frank Bent Center for the Arts. And on behalf of the Frank Bent Center for the Arts, we want to thank you for your $500 grant. It's wonderful. We use those funds to help us continue to hold our signature annual event, our plein air paint out. This event has always been one of our year's high points. It usually draws 40 artists from all over, and the work they produce in Alameda draws hundreds of outdoor viewers and patrons. The object of the event is to disperse artists into the open air, plein air, to capture the natural beauty, boats and birds common to our marine environment, along with the commercial and residential architecture that makes our island such a special place to live. Fortunately, once it became obvious that adapting to COVID-19 restrictions would be our best, if not only course, we transitioned most of our classroom activity and gallery exhibits online. That included this year's plein air paint out. Participation was reduced, but it was still at a level that gave us hopes that we could hold a virtual plein air paint out in 2021 if need be. So we're learning that virtual events pose challenges, along with a few advantages for our artists. While they have to capture digital renderings of their work, their display space, our website, draws a bigger audience than a public gathering. The center is also challenged by the possibilities that the web offers us. After a recent brainstorm, we came up with the idea of asking a few of our artists to engage with the public via live video streams while they're painting plein air, narrating their process and responding to questions via the chat feature. So we plan to acknowledge the Rotary Club of Alameda by thanking you on our newsletter, website, and in-house gallery donor acknowledgement wall. We are confident that we can present our next plein air paint out with the same degree of enthusiasm and participation as we have in years past. So in closing, I'd like to show you what your funding is supporting. 13 examples of fine art produced during plein air paint out 2019. Thank you again, and please enjoy this brief slideshow.
The awkward silence of Zoom.
Yes. I'm letting the images speak for themselves.
So we haven't seen them yet.
Oh, you're not seeing them?
No, we are not seeing them yet.
Oh, okay. Let's see. As I scroll through, let's see. Okay, hold on. Let's see.
Yeah, I was hearing thump. There you go. Okay, now we've got it.
Okay, now let's try it.
Well, there's your whole desktop.
All right.
All right.
I'll go forward and then back because I don't think isn't a feature that I can use to advance all the way. Probably recognize some of these images from the past. I need to go backwards. That's our estuary.
Yeah, that's an interesting, very interesting.
Isn't that nice? That's the Park Street Bridge, of course, in watercolor. And there we are. Thank you so much.
Excellent, great, Joe. Thank you very much for showing us some of the actual work that comes out of that. That's one of my favorite art shows here in the city.
There we go.
Great.
Thank you very much.
We are back. And now the next will be the Boys and Girls Club of Alameda. And Jeff, are you there? There you are. You have to unmute.
I'm actually going to speak.
Oh, there
Jeff,
you are.
I'm
Okay.
going to speak.
Hi, Carrie.
Thank you. Hi. I'm happy to be here and see so many familiar faces and hear about the city's great programs. I want to thank the Rotary Endowment Foundation, as well as the Rotary Club and all its members for its continued support. We really, really appreciate it. This year, we got support for our Seed to Table's Get Growing program. Broadly, Seed to Table is a combination of our gardening and cooking program, but currently due to our modified programming, we decided that it would be best used for our gardening portion of the program. And so we have been hosting kids in our garden in their pods pretty much daily up until this point. And so we hosted in Italo's garden, named after, dedicated to Rotary Club member Italo Calpestri for his great work that he has done in basically building, developing, and sustaining the garden and all its activities and produce. And in our garden, kids learn how to do all aspects of it, from planting to identifying seeds, knowing what season works best for growing what kind of produce, harvesting, watering, composting, general garden maintenance. You'll see them out there with rakes and stuff, and it's really cute. They love it. They absolutely love the garden. And recently we just got these wonderful signs so they can learn more about what they're actually producing, harvesting. And the other part of it is our Get Cooking, which currently the program, the grant funded the Get Growing portion, but what they take from the garden, they then would cook, and they would cook multiple times a week, provide snacks for other club members and their family members. So it's a great program, and I do have a few photos to show you. Anything without masks was an older photo, just to let you guys know.
A very popular disclaimer these days.
Exactly. So I'll just share a little bit about, can everybody see?
Well, there you go, yes.
Okay, so this is a very recent picture of our garden.
Hang on, Carrie, we lost sound. We've got pictures, but no sound.
She seems frozen.
Maybe, huh? Okay, maybe, let's see.
Garden, we have
there you go, you're back.
Herbs and spices. And in the back, we have a nice fruit orchard. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know where
we lost you for a while.
Uh-oh.
Looks like we lost you again.
Sorry, yeah, not sure. They were planting the trees, and they had stuff like orange and other citrus fruits. This is the cooking aspect, but I just wanted to show you guys what they do from the gardening. So each year we hosted a junior garden chef competition. And then the contest, they had to cook a variety of different meals using produce from our garden. And this was very recently, they were making pomander balls, so citrus infused with different herbs and spices to take home as good smelling things or decorations for their trees. And then this was another thing that we were doing yearly with our garden produce. They were cooking for our annual members awards night. And so this is some of our youth and teens cooking and serving for club members and their families. And so we really like seeing the seed to table aspect of this program. So we really appreciate the support, and we look forward to see how they help our garden thrive and what they learn from it about like nature and the environment and healthy food choices. So thank you.
Great. Thanks very much, Kara. Excellent program. Yeah, okay. I also want to take a minute to thank my board that had to put up with me, because when we were talking about doing something about how to make this a little more special, I was the one that said, we need to make this a party like it was last year. And of course, we couldn't all get together. So my board supported me in the idea of the little appetizer platter that you got tonight, perhaps reluctantly, but I want to thank them. I'm going to give them a big shout out for allowing me to do that and to bring this celebration into each of your own individual homes. Mine is in the refrigerator. I will have it afterwards. All right, moving on. Joyce for Bike Walk Alameda.
Hello, everyone. I'm Joyce Mercado. I'm the secretary at Bike Walk Alameda. And for those of you who aren't familiar with our organization, our mission is to make our city a safe and enjoyable place to walk and bike. And one of the things that we do, one of the programs that we do to encourage this and show people safe routes to bike and walk is we make this nice map of bicycling and walking map of Alameda. But the problem was, oops, I showed it upside down. Here we go. The problem was we made this map several years ago and it's completely outdated. Thanks in no small part to the advocacy work that Bike Walk Alameda has done with the city, we have many more bike lanes and walking paths now than we did several years ago. So the bike map really needs updating. And here's where Rotary really came to the rescue for us, because we did not have the money to print this, and we needed to get a little bit more money to do our printing of 5,000 copies of these maps to be given out at bike shops and the libraries and such. And the Rotary came to the rescue and helped us with this grant money. We're extremely grateful for that. And now with this in place, people will be able to find safe routes and stay safe on their bicycles and walking. So thank you very much to Rotary. We really appreciate the support. We couldn't do it without you.
Thank you, Joyce. Yes, I've noticed a lot more bike lanes now. I was, gee, where was I? I just saw all the brand new, I guess on Encinal, the extension of Encinal down to Fernside.
Yes, and the Cross Alameda Trail, which is a big one.
Yeah, it was really nice. The reflection off the white striping almost blinded me. It was so brand new. We need to scuff that up just a little bit. Anyway, thanks very much, Joyce. And thank you for your contributions to Rotary as well. Next up is the Alameda Museum. And is there a nice wave? There you are. Okay, the show is yours.
All right, well, hello everyone. I'm Lorna Van Lunteren, and I'm with the Alameda Museum. And I have to mention this, look, there's a picture without cars. This was taken in early March. This is very unusual. And also note that for some reason it got flipped in the Zoom.
Technology.
Anyway, so I'm on the board with the Alameda Museum, and the project for which we asked for the grant is digitizing our card system. And first, let me mention what COVID has done to the museum. It's closed. No people coming in, which is strange for a museum. And so we've tried to deal with that as best as we can. Most of our volunteers are elderly. And as somebody put it, it's not worth my life. So museum's closed. And it'll stay that for a while longer, I think. So the museum was founded in 1948. And since that time, people have donated objects. The museum has thousands and thousands of objects in the museum in storage, and the Myers House and Garden is also filled with objects. For every object, there is a card in the system. I'm estimating now between 20,000 and 25,000 And this was all paper. So until last year, when we got a grant from the Rotary Club to digitize this, we set up a pilot, explored options, and picked a software. And we've now gotten to over 18,000 of those records copied into the system. So we're doing good. And I think this is where I share my screen. I want to show you quickly how this works. Let's see, how do I get you share screen? Share.
You're good, it's up.
So this, let's maximize this. There we go. This is the application that we're using. As you can see, starts with the most recent aspects. And we have a little photo for everything. This is the newer ones. For instance, if somebody wants to know what about the Rotary Club, it used to be you had to go maybe ask the curator. He knows a lot. He's been with the museum for 50 years this year. But he's only human. So the alternative was to go through those cards by hand, all 25,000 of them, or dig through objects. There's collections, there's a photo collection, there's a paper ephemeral collection, there's a scrapbook collection. And so maybe that would give you something. But now, if I want to know what about Rotary Club, I can say Rotary and Club. And voila, we have some objects. For instance, here we have a photo from 1921. This is in our photo collection. And this is a Scotch party. 1921, the Rotary Club in Alameda had just been in existence for 1 year. You can see some people are dressed funnily. And there's another that I want to show you. This one I thought was cute. The planting of the Rotary tree in 1922. And this is on what used to be called Jackson Park. It's on the corner of Central and Park Avenue. But you can also see there's a bunch of things that don't have pictures. And this is where I stop sharing screen. How do I do this? Oh, stop share. So the problem is that we don't have pictures for everything, and that's what we want to do in this coming year. So the grant for the Rotary Club from the Rotary Club will allow us to finish the project by identifying the location of everything and making a photo of everything. And so we are really grateful for the Rotary Club for their assistance, because our usual income stream of the museum gift shop is stopped. And the Myers House is not making any money, but still it's a building and it needs upkeep. So yeah, we're very grateful for your help. That's it for me.
Great, thank you so much. And I guess I'll be talking to you maybe in the next week or two. We are celebrating our 100th anniversary this year, and there has been a lack of pictures and backgrounds. So God, this grant really came back and paid us off in spades. So that's great. I'll be chatting with you. Excellent. All right, the next one is Alameda Meals on Wheels. And Teak, let's see, where do I see you? Oh, there you are.
Hi, thank you. The Alameda Meals on Wheels and Friendly Visitor Program is very thankful for the money from the Rotary Club. We serve daily between 100 and 120 people in Alameda who cannot cook for themselves and who need food. We also serve about 60 to 75 individuals who need somebody to visit with them. And so through the Friendly Visitors Program, we have people who go in at least weekly to visit. And during the shelter in place, they've continued to do that through the telephone, through writing cards, delivering flowers, etc. We deliver meals, we deliver hot meals 7 days a week. We're one of the only Meals on Wheels throughout the country that do that. And our volunteers often found people who require medical attention, and we contact the ambulance, the medical services, the police, the medical services, and the ambulance. So that's what we do. And the grant from the Rotary Club will fund between 4 and 5 people for 1 month in Meals on Wheels, and we really thank you.
Great, excellent. Thank you for the great service. And one of the benefits of Zoom is that Teek is able to speak to us tonight from, where are you, Teek?
In Puerto Vallarta, Mexico.
Oh, boo.
I'm sorry, I have sleeveless and you all have warm stuff.
Well, again, that's the silver lining, I guess, that we get out of 9 months of COVID-19. At least we're now familiar with Zoom. So great, thank you very much. And thank you for appearing tonight. What time is it there?
It is just a couple of minutes before 9 o'clock.
Ah, okay, so we're not keeping you from bedtime. Great, well, thanks again for appearing. Okay, moving on to Alameda Family Services. I see Catherine and Kale, so the show is yours.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. My name is Catherine Schwartz, and I'm the Executive Director of Alameda Family Services. And I just want to say how incredibly grateful we are to the Rotary Club as a whole, the Rotary Endowment Foundation. This has been a really difficult year, as you all know, and we're so appreciative of this grant money because it will really go to support very important mental health services, specifically in our school-based program. And I want to ask Kale Jenks, who is our school-based services division director, to share a little bit more specific information with you.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I'll give you a warning now. It is about bedtime, and so there might be 2 kids loudly running into this room. So I will do my best to be quick, but do justice to all the great services that we're trying to provide. So as Catherine said, thank you all for your generous donation. Everyone, we're all experiencing firsthand the mental health impacts of COVID, and youth are obviously feeling these effects as conveyed by the fellow grantee recipients working with youth already shared. AFS, like many mental health agencies, are providing therapy via telehealth, but we recognize that those services have a limit on the number of youth we can support. And so our program has been working really hard to identify alternative ways to connect and provide mental health support and resources to the largest number of youth. These efforts that we provide are not reimbursable, and so we are so appreciative of contributions like yours to our program. I'm going to quickly share a few of the recent workshops that we have provided, and I just want to let you all know that any high school student can sign up and join these. So I will try to stay on track with everyone else with not having any technical issues.
So far, so good.
Awesome. So this first flyer right here is for a workshop we did. It was relationship with our food and bodies. It was a 3-part workshop that we had leading up to Thanksgiving, and it was focused on disordered eating and body image issues. It was really great to be able to see the youth come in, ask questions, and be able to provide that support. Over here, we've been doing self-care workshops leading up to the break, recognizing that though school has been a stressful time, it's also provided some normalcy to youth. And now they're going to be returning into a winter break and not being able to see their friends. And so we've tried to create workshops focused on how they can take care of themselves. And then just yesterday, we ran one on navigating health and wellness during the holidays. And this is just a flyer of the different supports that we've identified and we've been sending to youth that they can access because like the school will also be taking a break for the upcoming 2 weeks, and we wanted to make sure that youth had the ability to access resources. None of this could have been possible without our awesome youth advisory board. These are the youth who keep us current They explained to us what workshops we should be providing. Yes, buddy. Hey, I'm in a meeting. Yeah. So these are the youth that are, you know, keeping us relevant, sharing, you know, what workshops we should provide, and then how to be able to reach the youth. And then just, lastly, again, just wanted to be able to say thank you. And my oldest is currently hiding from his youngest underneath the desk now, so I will most likely be bowing out, but thank you all for everything.
Excellent, wonderful. I guess one of the other benefits of Zoom, right, is you get a little look into inside life at someone's house. I think it's always nice when the people at NPR, and between the 3 and 4 hour news, you know, they're doing an interview and all of a sudden you hear a dog barking or something. It makes it very human. So thanks very much, appreciate that. All right, next is the Alameda Education Foundation. And Vicki, I saw you earlier.
I am right here, thank you.
There you are, okay, hi.
Get my screen share going up here.
That's why you disappeared. I couldn't find you.
Just one second. There we go. Anyway, thank you. It's so nice to see all of you, even if it's virtual. And thank you to the Rotary Club and the Rotary Endowment Foundation for your support. You have supported our work so much over the years. And this year, like many others, the need is greater than ever. The Alameda Education Foundation supports our local Alameda public schools, our students and our teachers. And this year when we learned that teaching would be remote, would be virtual, and we knew that that would cause a lot of stress and anxiety and unique needs. So we developed a program called Equip for Success Reimagined to address those most dire needs. And you can see what those are there. But what we are going to use the Rotary Foundation grant for are our teacher mini grants. These are teacher-centered. Teachers know best what the unique needs this year are in their classrooms. They're having to teach like they never have before. Someone said that every teacher this year is a first-year teacher because everything is so different. So they're learning what they need to be effective, to be able to do the quality job that they want to do with their students. And we're focusing these mini grants on our low-income schools whose families may not have the resources that other schools have, and also who may not have the PTAs and other sources of support. So I just wanted to share a couple examples of the kind of impact these mini grants can make. You can imagine if you are trying to teach children to read or children who are struggling with reading. You may have, if you imagine a traditional classroom, you would have pictures all around the classroom that represent the different sounds made by letters. But how do you do that online? So one of the teachers applied for a grant to support Google Slides. It was very inexpensive, but made this huge difference because the students then could actually see well on the screen what she was trying to show them. And she sent me this picture of this little boy. It's not a great picture, but you can see the smile on his face. And she said, this is the first time that the student has been able to pronounce multisyllable or read and say multisyllable words. And it's the first time I've seen him smile all year. So that was really impactful. Okay, hold on just one second. Here we go. Another example was a music program at NSNL. You know, music is all about being together and making music together. Well, how do you do that when every student is in a different classroom? So this teacher used recycled materials and had the students together separately, make instruments. And so they had that camaraderie of doing that. And then they are able to play these. And these are actually drums that are apparently quiet enough to be able to do within a household. Sorry, I'm going to miss one of them. And this is a picture actually of a teacher from Halloween. So that is a wig, but this is a special ed teacher who works with the deaf and the hard of hearing. And you can imagine how challenging that might be to do via a screen, because these students need to really be able to see clearly your mouth, the teacher's mouth and their face to help decipher what they're saying. So you can see the special light that the teacher is able to provide, as well as she was able to to purchase some materials that just work well on a screen. And we've had other great uses for the mini grants come up. Books is a big one, especially for English language learners who now, because they're not at school, they are not being exposed to the English language. So teachers are trying to compensate by buying books that they really enjoy reading. And we even have a PE teacher at a middle school who is having a yoga instructor come in on Mondays and do mindful Mondays, because the students, among other things, are just anxious and stressed. And this is something that helps to center them. So those are just a few examples of some of the things that we have been able to do with mini grants. And thanks to your support, we will be able to continue doing this sort of work after everyone comes back from winter break. And I would just say I invite any other questions that anyone may have to please feel free to contact me by email. And thank you again.
Great, thanks so much, Vicki. Excellent, very, very good. All right, moving on. Alameda Backyard Growers. Birgit, there, I see you. Hello.
Birgit.
Birgit. Yes, Birgit.
Okay. Hold on. I'm going to attempt to share this screen. Can you see the screen? Can you see the screen at this point?
Not yet.
Okay, there we go.
There you go.
Okay. From beginning. All right. So now if I can, all right, I can't see correctly, but can you see the slide?
We can see the slide, yes.
Okay. All right. So Alameda Backyard Growers is the biggest little organization you've never heard of. We were formed in March of 2010 in response to the Great Recession. And our mission is growing community one veggie at a time. We have a number of different programs. The first one, or our biggest program, or probably our longest program, is Project Pick. And we have donated and harvested 20 tons of excess fruit and donated it to the food bank, and that's since 2001. We have monthly education meetings. The fruit trees that were planted, you saw the slide of the planting at the Alameda Boys and Girls Club. That was from our Project Tree, which was in conjunction with the Alameda Sun to get more trees out to the community. And then we also have a food waste challenge, because I know people are very focused on automobiles as a way to reduce carbon, but food waste is a huge, huge way to both save money and reduce carbon in our community. The average household wastes 25% of the food that they buy every year, which is equivalent to buying 4 bags of groceries at the store, dropping 1 bag in the parking lot, and not going back to pick it up every single week. It's huge. It's about $1,500 a year for a family of 4. And our newest project, the one for which we received the grant, is our free seed library. And in response to the pandemic, we took everything online. We started doing socially distanced plant sales. A lot of people, when 21 million people were basically fired or furloughed in 1 week, people panicked. They wanted food. Seeds were no longer available. One of the companies that produces a lot of the seedlings, Sweetwater Nursery, just vanished off the face of the earth. And so we took it upon ourselves to get seedlings. And then we thought, what else can we do? So we got seeds, and we started distributing seeds. And initially we started distributing, my husband built the little box, the little free seed library there that you see. And we started distributing seeds that we had gathered ourselves, and also seeds from donations. And we found that that box was emptying 3 to 4 times a day, even though we asked people to only take 6 packets of seeds per family per month. And we decided that we were going to have to go with something a little bit bigger. And so this past fall, we started doing bulk purchases of seeds so that we could do bulk packing of seeds, and then we could have, you know, boxes, and so then you can just go out and put out more seeds 3 to 4 times a day as the seed box empties. And we have given out, since mid-July through mid-December, over 2,500 packs of seeds from one little seed library. And the Girl Scouts, in conjunction with us, are going to be building us 2 more seed libraries. The current one is at 2829 San Jose Avenue, my house, on the east end, and we're going to be building one for Bay Farm and one for the west end, so that all the areas of the island will be covered. And as you can imagine, that's going to require a whole lot more seeds at 2,500 packets in 6 months. And also down in the bottom corner, you can see one of our envelopes. It's not enough just to give people seeds. You also have to give them instructions. So a lot of the costs that we've found has been in buying the envelopes and the labels and creating the, you know, so we create an individual label for each different variety. So if it's tomatoes or basil or peppers. And we really would love to thank you so much for the grant that you gave us. That will go to sponsor the tomatoes and the basil and the peppers and the eggplant seeds that we will be giving out starting in February, hopefully to all 3 of our seed libraries. So thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Great. Thank you so much for the great work that you do as well.
Thank you.
That concludes the list that at least I have. I don't think I've missed anybody because I've been checking them off as we go. And I just want to say that of all of the activities that and I know many of the members of Rotary do throughout the year, this is one of the highlights, to be able to see all of the work that each of your organizations do to make this the city that we all enjoy. And I think the key word that comes up for me every time I listen to one of these is about collaboration and how Rotary fits into each one of your missions so that we enhance everything that you do. So I want to just say on behalf of my board and all of the members of both the Rotary Club of Alameda and our foundation, a very big thank you for what you do, and a special thanks for what you do in 2020. So if you have any champagne left, do the rest of that toast.
Thank you, Doug.
Thank you very much. All right, so I think that would conclude it for tonight. It is 7:12, so it was a great evening. Thank you all, and we will look forward to a healthier and maybe an open, less masking 2021. Take care, have a good evening, and have a great holiday, everyone.
Thank you, and the same to you and to everyone.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.